The very instant the blood-red moon rises into the heavens, the entire ancient battlefield of trials is submerged in a heavy crimson glow. Every person present, no matter where they stand within the vast arena, instinctively lifts their gaze and looks toward the sky. The individuals spread throughout the distant trial grounds are completely shocked upon witnessing the scarlet moon. Confusion spreads among them as they whisper to one another, struggling to comprehend what this mysterious celestial body could be. Gradually, more voices join in, questioning why such a dreadful red moon has suddenly appeared above them. At the same moment, the demons and countless beasts roaming within the trial domain are just as disturbed and uneasy when they notice the crimson moon. Panic fills their voices as they mutter among themselves, attempting to figure out what this phenomenon is and what force could have brought it into existence. Meanwhile, on the side where our protagonist stands, the blood-red moon is clearly visible right before him. In that very moment, the status of the windflower blood moon displays itself in front of his eyes. Its level has now climbed to 90. Its strength has escalated to 1.5 million, while both its agility and spirit have surged to 1 million, and its life force has expanded to a terrifying 2.5 million. It has also acquired horrifying new abilities, including Endless Pollen Assault and Petal Devour. Furthermore, it carries unique traits such as Storm Armor, absolute immunity against wind element attacks, and most terrifying of all, accelerated regeneration. After examining these overwhelming attributes, Lin Moyo grows slightly uneasy and, with a trace of dread, murmurs, "This aura, that crimson moon, it's definitely no ordinary entity." Then, raising his eyes toward the sky, he commands his Skeleton King to destroy it. Upon receiving the order, the Skeleton King immediately draws his massive blade and activates the god-slaying technique, releasing a devastating slash that tears through the air toward the crimson moon. The attack speeds forward and collides with the moon, leaving behind a faint gash at the point of impact. The crimson moon does indeed suffer a small amount of damage. However, at that very instant, flower petals begin rising upward from below. They converge around the wounded area and start restoring it. Seeing this, Lin Moyo reacts in astonishment and says, "So this is its rapid regeneration ability." Right at that moment, fine crimson pollen particles begin dispersing from the moon and float toward Lin Moyo, enclosing him from all directions. Noticing this, he becomes slightly alarmed and says, "This is pollen. This is bad." The very moment the drifting pollen encloses Lin Moyo from every side, the blood moon instantly triggers its endless pollen detonation ability. Each microscopic particle explodes with fierce intensity, locking Lin Moyo within a continuous chain of violent blasts that strike him head-on. The barrage persists relentlessly, one explosion following another without any pause. Amidst this unceasing storm of detonations aimed at Lin Moyo, the blood moon entity simultaneously releases innumerable petals toward the headless horseman skeletons stationed far away. The petals swirl through the air in spiraling patterns before slowly descending toward the ground beneath them. Yet, the instant those petals touch the surface, they behave differently this time and do not explode. Instead, thick roots begin to sprout from them, expanding outward at an alarming rate. Witnessing this unexpected change, Lin Moyo lets out a cry of shock. They didn't detonate. Instead, they took root and started to grow. In that precise moment, massive roots burst forth with incredible speed, racing toward Lin Moyo's headless horsemen, wrapping tightly around them and crushing them entirely. The roots coil around the headless horseman and immediately activate an ability known as Petal Devour, siphoning away their power through the entangling vines. Seeing this unfold, Lin Moyo, completely stunned, shouts, "The power of the headless horseman is being drained. This is the force of laws." Meanwhile, back at Lin Moyo's position, the series of explosions finally subsides. However, he has endured severe damage from the assault, his body now covered in injuries. After observing the combat methods of the blood moon entity, he feels deeply shaken, astonished, and unsettled as he says, "The force of laws. It is something usually encountered only at the pinnacle of level 95. Yet this wind flower is merely at level 90. How can it possibly wield such power? Could there be something abnormal about this blood moon?" While these thoughts race through his mind, Lin Moyo immediately activates the strong soldier ability and declares with determination, "Then we will attempt to crush it through sheer strength." The moment he activates the strong soldier ability, its effect takes hold, causing the Skeleton King to feel an overwhelming surge of power coursing through it. And once again, it releases the God-slaying slash technique. This time, the attack produced by the God-slaying ability is far more powerful than before, surging forward toward the Blood Moon with astonishing speed and destructive force. At that exact instant, enormous roots erupt from beneath the earth, tearing through stone and soil alike as they surge upward. With unstoppable force, rapidly spreading in all directions as they begin to envelop the Blood Moon in a tightening cage of living wood. The thick, ancient roots coil tightly around it from every direction, layer upon layer reinforcing one another, sealing every gap as if determined to suffocate its ominous glow and shield the world from its influence entirely. But in the very next moment, as the Skeleton King's devastating strike descends with overwhelming power, it cleaves through those roots as though they were nothing, the impact echoing across the battlefield as it hits the Blood Moon head-on and shatters it into countless fragments. Witnessing this, Lin Moyo finally lets out a relieved breath and says, "This time, it worked." Yet that relief lasts only an instant. His expression turns grave, eyes sharpening with urgency as he swiftly activates the Undead Gaze skill and commands in a cold, decisive tone. Before it can regenerate, destroy it completely. The moment Undead Gaze is triggered, the ground trembles violently, and a towering structure formed entirely of seething undead energy rises up from the depths, exuding a chilling aura that seems to drain the very life from its surroundings. Its massive doors swing open instantly with a thunderous creak, and as a colossal eye manifests within the darkness, it locks onto its target and unleashes Soul Flame without the slightest hesitation. The Soul Flame surges forward like a raging tide of spectral fire, swallowing the already fractured Blood Moon whole, its eerie light flickering as the flames consume it and prevent any chance of restoration. Under the relentless effect of the Soul Flame, the tiny scattered petals tremble and struggle desperately to repair it. Observing this stubborn resistance, Lin Moyo narrows his eyes and mutters under his breath, still trying to regenerate. Though the small petals persist, inching forward with eerie determination as they attempt to rebuild what was lost. Lin Moyo glares at them coldly, his voice filled with finality as he says, "Don't even try." Without a moment's hesitation, he reaches into his inventory, pulls out a bone spear pulsing with dark energy, and declares with unwavering resolve, "I'll end this now." Then, without the slightest pause, he hurls the bone spear straight toward the fractured Blood Moon, his movement swift and decisive. The bone spear shoots ahead like a streak of destruction, obliterating every petal in its path before crashing into the Blood Moon itself, piercing through it and leaving nothing intact as it continues forward. At that exact instant, from below, the Skeleton King unleashes the Elemental Riot skill, releasing a terrifying surge of elemental power that rushes upward with incredible velocity. The attack slams directly into the Blood Moon, triggering a massive explosion. The sheer force of the blast ripples across the entire battlefield, shaking everything violently, and in a single overwhelming moment, the Blood Moon is utterly annihilated. The instant the Blood Moon is destroyed, a system notification appears before Lin Moyo. After defeating the Windflower Blood Moon, he gains an enormous reward of 12 million experience points. In addition, he receives several rare items: the Windflower Heart, the Windflower Essence, and Windflower Seeds. The Windflower Heart is a legendary grade material capable of crafting powerful legendary weapons. The Windflower Essence is another rare resource used to enhance equipment, even upgrading it to boss tier quality. The Windflower Seeds, meanwhile, can be cultivated to grow a windflower with mysterious and potent abilities. With the battle concluded, Lin Moyo advances toward the site where the explosion occurred. A massive crater has formed at the location, and at its center lies a single item. The moment his eyes land on it, he speaks calmly, "Got it." The object is the Blood God Disc, a mythical grade weapon once wielded by the Blood God. As Lin Moyo picks it up, he mutters in astonishment. So it truly was the weapon of the blood-devouring god. No wonder it could tap into a fragment of the devouring law. If that Blood Moon had been any stronger, it might have devoured my attacks entirely. In that case, defeating it would have been impossible. He then swiftly stores the disc in his inventory and says, "Still, this weapon isn't particularly useful for me. It might suit Teacher Mang Anwen better." After wrapping up everything at the battlefield, Lin Moyo immediately activates his skeleton wings. In an instant, he soars into the sky at top speed, moving forward as he declares, "Time to search for the next place to level up." Some time after his departure, both the demons and the dragon warriors arrive at the battlefield. Upon seeing the devastation and the lingering traces of the fight, they are left completely stunned. One of them remarks, "This residual aura, it's from a god-level battle." Another adds in disbelief, "Since when did the ancient trial grounds produce someone this powerful?" At that moment, another creature speaks up. "This isn't the aura of our demon race. Could it be a human?" Hearing this, the others respond with caution. "We should stay hidden for now. No one should act recklessly or reveal themselves anytime soon." Meanwhile, Lin Moyo continues rushing forward at full speed through the ancient trial grounds, heading deeper into unknown territory. Ahead of him, powerful bolts of thunder crash down from the sky without end. Observing the scene, he says, "I've reached this domain of the Thunder Tree race. The Thunder Tree and the Windflower. They must be the most iconic creatures of the Wind-Thunder continent." At that moment, his attention is drawn to a formidable tree-like monster, surrounded by constant arcs of lightning striking from above and crackling around its body. Staring at it, he says, "That must be the Thunder Tree King." Coming to a halt, he raises his hand slightly and evaluates it, saying, "Its aura is powerful, but it hasn't reached the god level yet. I'll use it to push myself to level 73. Without delaying any further, he summons his skeleton army. Countless skeletons appear across the battlefield, and immediately after, he calls forth the Skeleton King as well. The moment the Skeleton King is summoned, the surrounding skeleton army begins to dissolve into streams of elemental particles, all of them converging toward a single point. Those countless particles gather together and rapidly take shape, reconstructing the Skeleton King piece by piece. Within moments, its full form is restored. As soon as it manifests, gripping its massive sword firmly, it steps forward and positions itself directly before the Thunder Tree King, adopting a ready stance for battle. At the exact moment our main character summons the Skeleton King into combat, a massive flock of level 75 Thunder Eagles suddenly fills the sky. They move in tight formations, screeching sharply as they dive straight toward him. Ignoring the Skeleton King entirely, the Thunder Eagles rush past it and focus solely on Lin Moyo, unleashing ranged lightning attacks from a distance. Endless streaks of lightning surge forward at blinding speed, crashing into his body. However, every single strike passes right through him from all directions, leaving him completely untouched. As the assault continues, system notifications repeatedly appear beside him, confirming immunity to lightning damage. 6 or 7 alerts flash continuously with each hit, without stopping. Clearly annoyed by the overwhelming number of Thunder Eagles in his path, Lin Moyo frowns and mutters, "This is seriously starting to irritate me." In his frustration, he summons bone spears and launches them toward the enemies. A dense barrage of bone spears tears through the sky, piercing directly through the Thunder Eagles. Each spear destroys everything in its path and continues forward without losing momentum. Meanwhile, the Skeleton King unleashes an elemental riot attack at the Thunder Tree King. A concentrated wave of energy shoots forward at incredible speed, aimed precisely at its target. The Thunder Tree King, previously distracted, suddenly senses the incoming threat and reacts instantly, releasing a powerful lightning attack in defense. Its thunder attack collides directly with the Skeleton King's elemental riot. The impact produces a massive explosion of lightning energy that spreads across the entire battlefield, engulfing everything in its range. The area becomes completely saturated with thunder. Even Lin Moyo is repeatedly struck by the storm, yet immunity notifications continue appearing without interruption. Feeling the constant impacts, he remarks, "Without a healer above level 80, no one would survive this." It becomes obvious why this place is called the Wind-Thunder Continent. Amid the chaos of the lightning storm, all the thunder trees in the area awaken and begin charging toward Lin Moyo at high speed. These Thunder Tree Guardians are enhanced elite monsters at level 85. Their strength reaches 700,000, agility and spirit are both at 500,000, and their constitution is 1 million. They possess abilities like lightning absorption, sea of lightning, and root entanglement. After spotting the Skeleton King, they move together and simultaneously activate root entanglement. Thick roots surge forward in massive waves, attempting to bind it. Watching from a distance, Lin Moyo immediately activates the strong soldier ability and says, "With this boost, the Skeleton King should be able to eliminate them instantly." As the ability takes effect, the Skeleton King is empowered with immense strength. Raising its weapon, it effortlessly slices through the incoming roots. While cutting through everything ahead, it unleashes the god-slaying skill toward the Thunder Tree Guardians. The attack surges forward, splitting the Guardians cleanly in half and destroying them completely. The battle escalates to an intense level. Lightning floods every corner of the battlefield, striking relentlessly. The Skeleton King continues advancing, cutting down every Guardian tree in its path. At the same time, the remaining Guardians unleash continuous thunder attacks to stop it. Despite their efforts, it does not slow down, pushing forward and destroying everything with its blade. All the Guardians focus entirely on halting its progress. Watching the situation unfold, while still being struck by lightning, Lin Moyo mutters, "Still holding back? Then I'll push you a little." He immediately gives the order, "Skeleton King, destroy this entire thunder forest." Upon receiving the command, the Skeleton King intensifies its assault, continuing its relentless rampage. At that moment, Lin Moyo notices a large cluster of fallen tree monster corpses gathered in one area. Raising his hand, he instantly activates Corpse Explosion without hesitation. As soon as the skill is triggered, explosions erupt across the battlefield. One blast follows another, spreading rapidly in all directions. Wounded monsters caught in the explosions are completely wiped out. The entire forest is consumed by fire and destruction as the explosions chain endlessly. Watching the devastation, Lin Moyo smiles and says, "This place is perfect for this skill. The experience gain will be enormous." The chain explosions eliminate nearly all the Guardian Tree monsters and reach the Thunder Tree King. As it becomes caught in the blasts, it lets out a loud roar, releasing a powerful surge of lightning while sending massive roots forward to block the incoming explosions. Immediately after, its attributes appear before Lin Moyo. The Thunder Tree King is revealed to be a level 89 world boss. Its strength is 1,200,000, agility 1 million, spirit 1,200,000, and constitution 2 million. Its abilities include lightning, immunity, thunder strike, and root entanglement. The Thunder Tree King locks onto Lin Moyo and fires a thin bolt of lightning from its forehead. Lin Moyo dodges and mutters, "It still hasn't realized lightning has no effect on me." But in the next moment, that thin bolt suddenly reappears and strikes directly at his forehead. The instant it connects, a powerful shock spreads through his entire body. This attack directly targets his soul within his spiritual realm. A violent tremor shakes his inner world. Holding his head, he gasps, "That's not right, that was a soul attack." Another surge of lightning forms inside his spiritual space, moving toward his soul to strike again. At that critical moment, the dragon soul crystal within him activates, radiating a bright light. It absorbs the incoming lightning, preventing any damage to his soul. Realizing what happened, Lin Moyo smiles faintly and says, "I didn't expect the dragon soul crystal to protect the soul too. I underestimated it." His expression turns serious as he activates Undead Gaze and declares, "A soul attack? I can return it." An undead tower rises from the ground, its gates opening as a massive eye appears. The moment it emerges, it releases Soul Flame. The Soul Flame surges forward, engulfing the Thunder Tree King and burning its soul, dealing continuous damage. After launching the attack, Lin Moyo senses something unusual. Frowning, he mutters, "Something's wrong. Why isn't it escaping underground like the others?" Suddenly, he notices a change, and his expression stiffens. Lightning once again begins striking from the sky, gathering and converging toward the Thunder Tree King. The creature, which had been struggling against the soul flame, suddenly stabilizes. It growls, drives its roots deep into the earth, and continues digging relentlessly. From beneath the ground where its roots are tearing through, a dark purple energy begins to emerge. The moment Lin Moyo senses it, he is visibly shaken. This is the power of laws. The dark purple energy spreads rapidly around the Thunder Tree King. Its massive body starts shrinking, while the ground beneath it cracks violently. Lin Moyo stares and says, "Something underground is about to come out. Something controlling the power of laws. This level, at least level 95. No, level 96. Darkness suddenly covers the entire area. Within that darkness, two glowing eyes appear, rising from beneath the ground where the Thunder Tree King once stood. In the next instant, a massive form begins emerging from below, revealing itself piece by piece. A gigantic golden claw slowly comes into view, immense and terrifying. As it rises, it continuously releases overwhelming thunder energy. Feeling the immense pressure, Lin Moyo trembles slightly and says, "What is that thing?" At that exact moment, the claw stretches forward, its sharp nails extending toward him, filling the surroundings with crushing and suffocating pressure.